Josh Hart is across the street. He now joins us. Josh, thanks so much for joining us. Congrats on a great win. Tell us about the second half. You guys were dominant after halftime. How'd you do it?
Yeah, man, I think it kind of started in the second quarter. I think we only allowed 23 points in that second quarter. The first quarter is what really killed us. So we knew, and it was the last couple of minutes of that first quarter, so we knew we had to pick it up. We did on the second quarter, and then coming out of halftime, we knew we had to really bring it in. That's what we did.
Josh, when they're hitting threes like they were doing early in that game, just like they were doing in Game 3, it's got to get demoralizing. In this game, did you just not allow that stuff to affect you?
Yeah, man. That's why you need to play every game as hard as you can with a sense of urgency and a sense of desperation in the playoffs. We let them get confidence last game, coming out and knocking down shots in the beginning of the game, and we couldn't put out a fire, and they came in with confidence because of that. And fortunately, we were able to get stops defensively, get out and run, and have play Knicks basketball and have fun.
Josh, Jalen was Jalen, but there were contributions all over the roster from that locker room. Everyone seemed to get unlocked in today's game. How did it happen?
Nah, man, it was huge. Obviously, JB does what he does, but Cat, played a great game. OG let the game come to him and knocked down big shots and got big defensive plays. And then Mikal Bridges, man, you can't say enough about him, all the adversity that he's had this season, and he just keeps coming through for us in the clutch, man. So you got to give credit to those guys, man. They played well, and shout out to PJ Tucker for making sure we're up, we're talking. He brought that championship pedigree to us, and he deserves a big shout out.
What did PJ have to say to the guys? Did he have a speech or something about what you're referencing?
No, man, he's just something that always talks to us, he's a champion, and he's bringing that mentality.
Questions?
Tom, obviously, they did hit some tough shots, but it felt like you guys were pretty connected for most of the part, defensively, offensively, good in the second half. What did you think of this group's performance in totality?
Well, I thought, they hit us early, and obviously, we got in a hole, but I love the way we fought back, showed a lot of toughness and more discipline in the second half, and then timely plays, everyone working together on both ends of the floor. So I think it starts with your defense. And then you have to have a lot of toughness, and then you have to do it together. And I thought the guys did that.
What you see with Mikal in that fourth quarter, it looked like he was a little bit more assertive in trying to get his mid-range off.
Yeah, just, reading the game extremely well, getting to his spots. He had some big-time rebounds in traffic, some tough plays. I thought he was terrific in the fourth quarter. I thought OG gave us a huge game. And I thought Jalen, of course, was timely shot after timely shot. But I thought Mitch gave us big minutes. Cat gave us really good minutes. Deuce got us at a faster pace, so I thought that was good for us as well.
I mean, to say you don't want to do this, but you're down 14 again in the third quarter. Just kind of what it says about this team to keep coming back.
You just got to keep fighting, and that's sort of the nature of the game. There's, when you're playing a three-point shooting team like that, there's going to be variances in the game where there's runs and you can't go away. You got to keep fighting. And they have the ability to, make tough shots. I thought, Tatum had a monster game going. He's a great shot maker. And I thought a lot of the shots were challenged well. And he has the ability to make. And we have to have the determination to come back to do it over and over again and stick together.
Tom, what about the building and the electricity in the air when you guys were responding?
Yeah, and we always say, we got the best fans in the world, and the arena's great, the atmosphere, but we got to make sure we give them stuff to cheer for. So I think it's important to understand what goes into winning, and you have to earn your wins in this league. They're not given to you. And so the building is not going to win the game. Whatever the series, each game, you got to go in and put the work into winning that particular game. That's the only thing that matters.
Tom, you mentioned OG and what he gave you. It looked like he grabbed at his hamstring late in the first quarter, went to the locker room, came back. Just what did you see from him after he came back and the shots that he hit in the second quarter?
Just, toughness, timely plays, flying all over the place. That was a huge steal that he made for us. But he's so disruptive. It's not only, and look, when you're guarding a guy like Tatum, there's a lot of stuff that he has to navigate through, And there's times you defend him well and he's still going to make, but to do it over and over and not get deterred and to keep fighting and then to make those plays that he made in the fourth quarter says a lot about him.
And there was a lot of talk earlier in the series about Mitch and the free throws, but they didn't foul him tonight, but he gave you a bunch of offensive rebounds again. Just what kind of lift did he give you?
Same thing. I think he and Cat played really well together. Josh was in foul trouble, so the two bigs and his defense, the offensive rebounding, that's huge for us.
Tom, you guys have kind of flipped the switch with the defensive rebounding the last game and a half. How important has it been to keep them off the offensive
Well, it's
plays?
huge because you got to finish your defense against them. You can get the initial part right, and then you can challenge the shot, and then they're very quick to the ball, and their guards pursue. Their bigs are relentless. You got to make sure you're getting bodies on them, and when you're switching, sometimes you got smalls on bigs, but you have to have the toughness to get the job done. Just get up in there and battle.
Tom, speaking of Mitch, he affects the board so much, even on plays where he doesn't get rebounds. What do you feel like he gives you guys, even on the plays when he's not getting boards? How is he actually impacting?
Well, it's the pressure he's putting on the rim, and then the threat of the offensive rebound and the extra possessions and what that means to the team and the value that it brings to the team. And then I thought he and Jalen connected on the lob, so I think that having that pressure there is huge for our team, and there's not really a stat for that, but what it does is it creates advantages for us.
Tom, Mikel kind of struggled in the first half, but what did you see from him in that fourth quarter? And
just his demeanor, and that's what I love about him. He played hard the whole game. I thought he had some good looks. They didn't go in, but that didn't sway him at all. And then he got going. He big time in the fourth quarter. Those were huge shots he hit.
Tom, second half of the fourth quarter, you had Mitchell Robinson and Miles McBride out there. What led you to go with those two, and what did you see from the group during that stretch?
Well, the starters went on a run, so we ran with that longer, and then Josh got in foul trouble, so that's what really led to that. And then Cat needed a rest, and so we were just reading the game.
Tom, you always say Jalen gives you your best when his best is needed. Just that third quarter, he comes out 16 points in the period. Just what did you see from him in that period to go on that run that he had?
Yeah, just reading the game. He knew that we needed to be aggressive, and I thought that helped set the tone for what we were trying to do.
Coach, on that challenge where Josh got his fifth, what did your guys see for you to challenge it? And clearly the referee said it was a trip. So what did your guys see that caused you to want to challenge that?
I agree with our challenge guy. I disagree with the judgment on it, but sometimes that's the way it goes. You deal with it. But when you look at body position and you look at the things that occurred on it, yeah, I thought it was a good challenge.
Tom, 39 points for Brunson in a game like this, that's huge. Like, what makes him made for moments like this in the playoffs?
Just the way he's wired, a lot of poise under pressure. His confidence, I think, is always super high just because of the way he prepares and the way he works. So no moment is too big for him. You're not going to speed him up. He's not relying on athleticism, although he's more athletic than people realize. And then just his fundamentals, his footwork, to be able to get to the spots that he wants. He's great at creating separation, and he's always got great balance on his shot.
Tom, I don't think anyone knows the word on it yet, but Tatum was out in a wheelchair in tears. Just kind of thoughts on, I guess, if they have to go without him, what that means.
Yeah, I never want to see a player get hurt. And, he's been a great player, and he's a great guy, too. So I hope it's not a serious injury.
Using the word execution, the team needed to execute better. How did you like how the team executed tonight?
I mean, I thought we did a great job. They came out defending champions with a bunch of energy, and they executed at a high level. Start the game, I thought we did a great job of just staying strong, staying disciplined, continue to believe in each other, and found ourselves executing, what we had to do to find a way to win. Their team is special. They're defending champions. It takes a whole team to beat them.
What is, as a fellow very tall person. What is it like watching?
Am I tall?
No, I know you're tall.
Oh, okay. Shout out to my tall people.
You guys, Mitchell Robinson is also very tall.
Mhm.
What's it like watching a dude like that just take over the offensive boards like he's?
I mean, that's he's special, man. I mean, you know, you when you're playing against him, you understand what he brings to a team, and when you're playing as his teammate, you can see even more the magnitude, the impact he has in the game, and he was just special tonight and doing everything we needed him to do, whether it was guard their big men, or also getting big rebounds, alley-oops, timely buckets. You know, he was able to do it all. So shout out to him, man. You know, maybe he deserves those pickup trucks.
In such a tough game with such an amazing response from the Knicks, can you describe, in such a tough game?
No, I got you.
Oh, with such an amazing response from the Knicks, can you describe the emotions, the feelings you had on the court playing in this building?
I mean, you know, just these fans have been special all year, and they, when you got the fans we have, when you have a city that's supporting you the way our city does, you know anything's possible. And it's because of them that, you know, we enjoy and we have such a joy in our hearts coming to work every day. So shout out to our fans, shout out to the city, really supporting us throughout these the ebbs and flows of the season.
Carl, the Thibs talked before this series about the type of pride it's going to take defensively to compete with a team like this, and your defense on an island against Tatum and Brown throughout this whole series was really good. Just how would you interpret the way that you played against them and kind of the team as a group rising to the challenge?
I ain't gonna lie, man. Tatum was hitting some shots at the end, bro. Man, that's all I could do. But you know, shout out to him too. I'm praying for him. If you saw me on the court, I just wanted to pray for him. You look bad, so prayers with him and his family. You never want to see anybody in the NBA get hurt like that, and hope it's something minor and not something major. So. That's first off, but you know, like I said, this team needs to do whatever it takes to win, and you can't speak it without doing the action. You know, I wanna be able to walk the walk and also talk the talk. So, shout out to my teammates trusting me in these situations, and you know, I'm happy that I was able to at least, like you said, make it tough on them.
Make that and say that first and foremost. Thoughts and prayers with him, and just praying for the best.
Obviously, another crazy game, crazy runs, whatnot. Just how do you process the comeback, the win, and what it means for the series right now?
It means a lot. It was a big game for us. Just the way that we've responded is what I'm most proud of. Sticking together and just making sure we're not quitting. And that's a tough team over there. And obviously, we want to get out to better starts. But they got experience. They're the defending champs for a reason. So a lot of credit to what they do. I'm just happy how we fought.
Hi, over here, Jalen. Mikhail, wondering your vantage point on the play where you get the deflection, OG gets the run-out dunk, Tatum goes down. What did you see in that moment? What were you thinking when you saw that he was down? What was your perspective on it?
I thought he rolled his ankle. And then obviously we want to go out there and compete, but when a player of his caliber goes down and he's rolling in pain like that, you knew something's wrong. So that's why I just gave my thoughts and prayers, because you never want to see something like that ever.
Either one of you, it felt like a lot of the shots they made early on were tough shots, and you guys made them work. Did you guys feel like that in the moment, that what you guys were doing defensively was working, aside from maybe a few minor missteps here and there, but in total you guys were doing what you were supposed to do in this game?
Early on, I don't think so. I think early on, a lot of miscommunication, transition. You know, Derek White getting a lot of looks. They just made a lot of tough shots, and you know, we can live with that. But you know, early, you know, having the early struggles offensively, you know, we can't let that, you know, happen on the other end. You know, we're getting good shots for them, and just got to communicate better.